In this video, we're going to talk about shoulder stability and how can you increase your shoulder stability. Now, if you're watching this video, then chances are that you have some sort of weak shoulder, or maybe you're rehabbing your shoulder or something like that. First thing we have to understand about the shoulder, and I'm going to make this quick and then I'm going to get into the exercises, but the first thing that we have to understand about the shoulder is that it is one of the most mobile joints in the body. So what that basically means is that with great mobility has to come great strength, because if you have the ability to do this thing right here, this means that you have to have the ability to stabilize it as it moves throughout ranges of motion. This is why when a lot of people get a shoulder injury or a shoulder issue, it becomes difficult to rehab, because there's such a great deal of range of motion, and also there's the potential for a lot of range of motion, right? So first things first, we want to release a muscle, or not a muscle, we want to release the muscles around the shoulder. Now, how do we do that? I'm gonna show you real quick, okay? So, what we wanna do is, specifically, we want to release a couple of different muscles, and some rotator cuff muscles. Number one of the biggest issues when it comes to shoulder mobility is the ability to move your arm up overhead, this or to the side, right? And a muscle or a couple of different muscles that impede that are going to be serratus anterior, and one of the muscles in the rotator cuff being the subscap, right? So what we want to do here is release those muscles. Now, how do you release subscap? Well, you could just take your thumb just like this, right? And it is on the back of your shoulder blade. So this is your shoulder blade that moves like this, right? This muscle sits on the back. Now, you can only really get the back edge of it, right? Because the other part is blocked by your ribs. But in order to get that, this is my right hand. I'm going to put my right hand on my left shoulder. I'm going to take this thumb and I'm going to put it right in here, okay? So as you push back, you should be able to feel this muscle that kind of pops out. And normally it's pretty tight, especially if you have some sort of shoulder internal rotation. It's going to be pretty tight and it'll pop out, and you'll be able to feel it. You won't have to search around long. You'll be able to feel it, okay? Once you feel that muscle, I would then just hold it there, right? Just hold that there, and then you can move the muscle around a little bit, but a lot of times for people that is very tender and very sore, right? So you would just hold that there, I'd say about 2 minutes, and you can kind of move around a little bit and see what areas around that are kind of sore. You can go directly in this way, right? Sometimes I just like to use my fingers because my thumb might get tired, but I'm coming in this way, and you can kind of feel the back shoulder blade, and you can kind of feel that muscle. Also, I have my lats here and my serratus here, so the lats are going to be like right here. Usually those are pretty tight. So what I like to do for that is, you can do this laying down, but since I'm standing up, I'm just going to show you how to do it standing up. But you take the ball and you put it on the lats, right? I'm using a sand ball here, but you could use a lacrosse ball, a tennis ball, a handball, a baseball, a softball, anything like that. I like to use a sand ball for basically most of my releases. It doesn't matter the weight, but this is a small one. This is about 6 pounds. But I take this one and it's here. So I'm on the wall just like this, and I'm pushing my body weight into it, and you can feel the spots that are stuck, because when you lean into the wall, you almost jump in pain. Now you can back off from that a little bit, but you just roll around. Once you find a spot, you just hold it there. Again, about 2 minutes. I do 2 to 5 minutes, 2 minutes being the minimum, right? You gotta get in at least 2 minutes. So after you've been able to release those things, now you might notice that your shoulder feels a little bit more free, right? So now we have the opportunity to add some strength into it. Okay, what I like to do is then go ahead and grab a mini band, right? So I grab a mini band, I put that right here on my wrist. From here, I'm gonna start here, and I'm reaching out, and I'm doing this nice and slow. Another one, just like this. I give some tension on the band. From here, I'm just gonna press up as high as I can and back down. The goal is not really trying to go as high as you can. It's to be as stable as possible. So that means where I start is where I end. So I'm coming up here, and then I'm coming back down. The goal is don't let that band pull you in. Don't be surprised if you start shaking a bit. Band here again. And from here, we're here, and we're coming straight out and back. Straight out and back. To do anything crazy, you're here, just like this, and you're just gripping the ground. If this seated position is too tough for you, that's fine. You can go to this position, whatever the case may be, but I am gripping the ground like this. So I'm starting to create some strength and stability starting from the hand and the wrist. This is going to help out the shoulder immensely, because if there is no stability in the hand and the wrist, the shoulder and the elbow are going to have to take up the work for that, and you're probably going to tax out your shoulder or your wrist. You're probably going to tax out your shoulder before you can actually get some good stability work, right? Okay, so next, in order to lock in some more shoulder stability, we want to actually be able to get stability while moving. There's two versions. The first version is a little bit easier, the second version is a little bit harder, but each one of them present their own challenges. Okay, so one version is going to be basically crawling out on the elbows. So we'll start here, just like this, or you can start here, right? You're coming back, and then come forward, right? So we're building some stability here, but we're also getting range of motion. Again, these are going to be more advanced, so if you are in severe pain, these are not going to be good exercises to do, but if you're just in acute pain, or you're looking to just make your shoulders better, then these are going to be good to do. Simple. Next one is going to be walking out from a push-up position. So you're here, just like this, coming down, just like this. Now, what I like to do, especially while doing this one, is making sure that I am almost gripping the ground. The last one that I'm going to give you, this is more advanced, and this is for people that can already bring their arms overhead without any pain, but they just feel kind of unsteady, unstable, and they want to increase their stability, right? So this one is going to be just like if you're doing a shoulder press, right? You can use a dumbbell or you can use kettlebells. I'm going to demonstrate it with a kettlebell. Again, you don't have to use a kettlebell, but I like the kettlebell because it actually tests everything a bit more. So it looks like this. Okay? I'm not going to stand up because it's going to cut my head off. And I don't feel like adjusting the camera. But what we're going to do here, I'm just going to take this one, right? I'm here, just like this. On the kettlebell, I want to bring my wrist in, right? So that I'm creating the stability from there. From there, I'm pushing up and I'm just holding, just like this, right? I'm holding, my abs are in, this arm is relatively locked out, and my wrist is slightly engaged, just like this. So I'm holding that there. And then this is forcing my shoulder to stabilize. While I'm doing that, I'm also actively like shrugging up, right? So now I'm really getting these muscles to work, and you can see a little bit of shaking happening. That means the muscles are working. Boom.
And then we stretch it.